Alright, working on the old truck again today, and just finished sanding all that. Instead of sanding it, I just stripped it all down the middle, that top edge there, and I'll show you how I did it after. I'm going to throw a little piece of video up, a little archive video from last December. Right now I think it's April 7th, and I had some footage from when we did this piece down here, so I figure I might as well throw that in. We did this, and these posts here, and this post here, and I'm going to show that to you first, only because I had the video, right? Well, why not show it to you if I got it, right? So alright, sit back and enjoy that. This is from December, and then we'll get into it and show you what we're going to do today. Alright, working on the old truck again today. I think it's around December 9th or 10th or so. So got a nice day here. It's about 55 degrees, and that's warm enough to work. But finished the two wheel housings, and this one came out pretty good. I'm happy with that. It's about as good as you're going to get anything. In fact, that's better than the outside of most cars. But alright, what we're going to do today is this back panel here. I don't even know if you're going to see it. You know, I think the bumper might cover that. I don't know, but it does have dents in it, and like I said, I don't know if you're going to see it or not, but I might as well fix it since we're here. It's fairly straight. You know, it's got a few dents in it here, a little dent here, and maybe like a little swale here I can beat out. But I already started. I started grinding off all the paint without you. But even this post here, you know, this you're not gonna. Well, you will see that post because the tailgate comes up to here. So this post here has a few dents in it, and then this one here had a hunk of metal in here. So I got to fair that in. And back here, you're not going to see this. This is going to be under the tailgate. So we'll fix all these little dents, and we'll make it right. You know, hate to do the whole truck and then after you put it all together and paint it and find out that this here's all dented up, looks like hell. But we'll fix it up. Got a little dent right here too. Alright, let me finish grinding that up, and then we'll fill these little holes in, and then maybe prime it. I doubt if we'll prime it today, but we'll get it ready. Alright. Yeah, we got that all prepped, and I had to do a lot of metal work there. I didn't realize until after I ground it all off. Maybe from back here you can see a little better from down there, but this actually has a little bit of shape to it. You know, it's got like it's squared off on the top here about an inch, and it swales down, and then down here it's got an indent. Well, right down here it was all pushed out and stuff, so I had to straighten all that, and it was a little out of shape here, so I straightened that. So it's all pretty close now. So now before I throw any body putty on there, these corners here where the seams are, I want to put some fiberglass there. That'll firm it up and fill that gap. It's about a 3/16 gap there on a transition. So we're going to put some fiberglass on there, and then over here, this one ain't so bad. And then we'll slop some putty on there. Alright, here we got that all puttied up. That's just the first coat, and it's actually pretty good. Most of that's probably going to come off. Looks a little rough in the middle here because I went over some fiberglass there without cutting it down, and it's a little rough, but that's okay. It'll sand down. So we'll let that harden up, and then we'll cut it down and see where our low spots are, and then that should be our next step. Alright, we'll see you then. Alright, it's the next day. It was getting a little late, so I didn't get a chance to film. And actually I didn't do anything else after that, but I sanded this down today, and You see there, I got rid of that little merge that was there. Same with over here. And the rest of this is pretty flat. Matter of fact, it's very flat. But I did mark out a couple small little shallow spots. We gotta fill that in, and then we'll give it a nice thin smear coat, get rid of all the sanding marks and imperfections, and should be good. I'll probably do this in 2 steps. You know, I'll try and do the bottom here, and then you got this little lip up here, and we'll do that separately. Alright. Yeah, a lot of work here. It doesn't look like it, but a lot of work for something that probably isn't going to be seen. But that's where we're at. Alright, it's another day here. Sorry I keep jumping around from day to day and stuff like that, but you know, with the time constraints we have here, you know, I just don't have time to film. You know, I only get a couple hours a day, and you know, because it gets cold, and it gets cold fast, and that affects everything. It affects putting the putty on, because it thickens up. Even though it don't start hardening, it gets thick, almost like oil does, you know. You know, like oil is nice and thin when it's warm, and then when it gets colder, it's a little thicker. Well, same with the putty. And then when you're putting it on, it doesn't go on as smooth, and it fights you the whole way. So, you know, when I mix it inside and I bring it out here, you know, it starts out nice and it's smooth, and then after a couple minutes, you know, it starts to get a little gloppy, and it's tough. And then even after you put it on, it doesn't want to harden because it's so cold out. By cold, I'm only talking 45 degrees. You can't really do much after 45 degrees. So even after you put it on, I got to throw a heat gun on here, and it's pretty substantial. This one, this is 10 amps, so it only gets up to 500 degrees maximum temperature. Yeah, but that's a lot, you know. And if you get too close, you'll actually melt the putty, but that hasn't happened yet. So, all right, this bottom half here is all done. I put the thin coat on there to get rid of all the imperfections, if there were any, and then sand the scratches. So now I'm going to sand that down with 80, and then that should be ready for primer. But before I do that, I'm going to have to address this top edge, and that shouldn't be too much trouble because that's just flat. So I also filled in some of the sides here, and that's only the first coat there, but you know, that's what you do when you get putty left over. You just put it on areas that you know you're gonna have to do. So, all right, that's where we're at. Like I said, I'm sorry for keep jumping around like this, but that's just what's going on. So, all right, we'll sand this down and then continue. All right, yeah, we're about done for the day. It's only 4:15 now, man. It's getting dark out. A little light over the hill there, but you know. So yeah, all this is done. That's flat and smooth as can be. Whoops, almost fell there. So, like I said, I don't know if it gets seen or not. I think it might. You know, because the bumper's probably down here and the tailgate's up here, so that's probably a small piece that you see from behind, but it's going to be done right. And I even got the pillars here pretty much done. They just need a final sanding, so I'll final sand them. Tomorrow's going to be Sunday, so we're not going to do anything tomorrow. So I don't know what the weather is like next week, but if it's warm enough, you know, we'll finish sanding this here and prime that up, and it'll be done. Then we'll finish up the inside quarters there and sand the top half. Oops, sorry about the camera movement there. I was just looking. I know that bothers a lot of people, but it don't need any body work up there. It just needs sanding. So we're pretty much almost done. The inside is bad, which is good. Then we just gotta do both side panels, and we're ready for paint. But probably won't paint until spring. So all right, I'll see you guys. This probably isn't too long, so maybe we'll see you next Monday or Tuesday. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, that was back December, and today's April 7th, I think. So today I stripped this all down and did the body work up here on the holes that were for the molding, and that side's done. We're getting real close. Matter of fact, I finished sanding these 4 quarter panels in the back here, and they're all done. They're all ready for prime. And the only thing I got to do before I prime is do in here. And you know, I was going to sand it, you know, because you know, it's all flaking and stuff. See, most of it's like overspray, but you know, it's easy enough. It's easy enough to take it right down to bare metal, and I'll show you how I do that with the stripping pads. And let me set you up on a tripod. Before I do that, a lot of guys used to comment on my tree here. I had a beautiful spruce here, blue spruce, and it was one of my Christmas trees. It was a 5 or 6 foot Christmas tree about 40 years ago. Well, we had a tornado go through here, and it missed me by about 200 yards. But I caught the 100-mile-an-hour winds from it, and it took this tree, and you can't see it now because I had it cut down. But you could actually see the cracks in the ground where the tree rocked so much. And over here, I don't know how well you can see the pitch of the ground, but the ground is actually lifting here, and that tree was leaning over, and it was almost hitting the house. And I got wires up here and a car, so I had to have it cut down. I could probably sit here and count these rings for you and tell you exactly how old this is, but it's probably 37 to 40 years. I don't know exactly what, but I hated to cut that down. But I'm lucky I missed a tornado. The people a block away weren't so lucky that it took down the telephone poles and everything. Some of the houses made out pretty good. A few people lost their roofs, but other than that. So we're going to have that ground down, and then maybe put another 6 foot evergreen here. Alright, let's get back to work here. Alright, I'm going to set you up on a tripod, and we'll just show you a little bit. I'm not going to show you a whole lot of it. I'm not going to show you me do the whole thing, because no need to. That's kind of stuff people zip through anyway. But I'll show you how easy the stuff comes off, and why it's not worth sanding. It's just worth stripping down. Alright, let me get some tools out here. Alright, before we take you outside and start working, let me show you what we're going to use, because a couple of you guys are going to ask about it. This here is a 4.5 inch angle grinder. They go about 20,000 RPM. Oh yeah, here's 10,000 RPM. So anyway, this is what we're going to take most of it off with, and you'll see how easy it comes off. And this is what they look like when they're new. That's the name of it. That's the grit. They call them stripping discs, and that's what it looks like when it starts. And they last a while. You know, that one's wore down, but got a lot of miles on that one. So if I can find a link for this, I'll leave a link in the description for you. But if not, you can research it yourself. So that's for getting the big areas, and that eats it up, takes that stuff right off. And this here is a little they call it a 1/4 inch angle grinder, air grinder, and that's what we do to get the tight spots and the close spots where we don't want to take a chance of going off course and damaging something. But this is what they look like. This one here is pretty much wore down to nothing, and this one here is used, but here's what they look like when they're new. And like I said, they do wear it down. You see, this one here is a little bigger than this one, but this is what they look like when they're new. And this is the box they come in. You see a part number and Google that yourself. But if I can find you a link, I'll put the link in the description. But that's what we use to take off the paint right down to the metal, and it doesn't damage the metal at all. And then some spots where you can't get in, you know, you got the thick heavy duty wire wheel here, and that takes some off, and then you got the little finesse wire wheel. So alright, let's go out there and I'll set you up on a tripod and show you how easy these things take the paint off. Alright, before we start, let me give you a warning on this one here. This big one on the 4.5-inch grinder, it generates some heat, so you want to try not to stay in one area too long, you know. And I'm sure if you wanted to and tried to, you could probably warp a panel with it, but if you're careful, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. But this one will generate a little bit of heat. Alright, you got your hearing protection on, your dust mask. I'm going to try and stay out of your way, so let's see what it does. Alright, yeah, you see how fast that works, and I can't really get down here and there, but I can get here a little bit. Alright, you see how nice that works. Out for these areas where I don't want to hit any of this body work. You can get it with the little one. Alright, I shut these off because the compressor kicked on. I forgot how close I was to the compressor. But anyway, I'm using the one that's all wore down. And to get into this little crevice here, I'm going to use a new one. Let's see how that goes. Alright, to get that ledge, we use this. take you off the tripod there and we'll take a better look at it. Hold on. Hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, sorry about that. I let it focus in here. Yeah, you see, that was only about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. You know, got plenty of that. Got the top here and got this. You know, so it's I should be able to do this whole panel here in 15-20 minutes. So there's so many better ways of doing strip and paint than chemicals and sandblasting. Sandblasting would have got sand all over everything and you never get it out. Besides being expensive. Each one of these, I don't know how much that cost. Probably $5 for that, and even the little ones are probably only $1 a piece. But you know, a little bit of elbow grease save you a lot of money, and in the end, you got a better product. So, all right, I'm gonna do this, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're done. All right. Yeah, we stripped all the paint off of there, and it's looking good. Little spot down there, looks like I missed it, but that's Bodywork. That was a little dent. We fixed that earlier. But so we got everything stripped in here, and it's almost ready for paint. All I have to do is, like right here, there's a little hole that was welded up from the outside, and another little hole. That's where the molding went in, the little hole. And they were all plugged up. They're patch welded. A little dirt bike today patch welded them for me. Plug welded them. So just have to grind them down and do a little body work. And it doesn't even have to be that good, because right now this bed is sitting 4 foot off the ground. When this thing is sitting down where it belongs, you'd have to wrench your neck and look up in here to see if see if anything was done in there. So we'll do the body work there. We won't get crazy, but you know, like over here, we did it, and it'll look okay. So, all right, tomorrow's Saturday. Sometimes I take the weekend off, so we might not get back to this till Monday. So we'll see you guys then, and then I'll see how long this video is, see how much more we're going to put on there. But I think we should be able to put the paint job in here for you. All right, see you guys Monday. All right. It's been a few days, and it's early in the morning now, and I just finished doing all the body work on them holes up there, and then body work up there, and then I scuffed down the wheel wells and the top and everything. So I'm going to give it all a coat of primer now, and then the inside here should be done. So let me do that. I'm going to have to get some rust neutralizer, and I'm going to wipe it down on everything. It'll etch the metal and help the primer stick, and it'll also neutralize any little rust spots we have. You know, like this kind of stuff here. You know, it's sanded and everything, but you know, you never get deep into the rust. So, and all these little spots. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm not going to film that, because when you spray paint, it gets all over the camera and the lens, and it's a pain in the neck. So alright, we'll show you that when it's done. Matter of fact, we'll try and get that while it's still in the shade a little bit. You see up there, the sun's just starting to hit the front of the truck, so we should be alright. Alright, we'll see when we're done. Alright, yeah, we got that all done, and we're happy with it. Got a lot of wasps starting to come out here. Is that one there? I think so. Yeah, they start finding they start making little nests in here. I seen one. Here's another one up here. He's making a nest in the thing there. Get out of here. Yeah, I got stung the other day. Alright, like I said, this is we're done now. It's funny, when I sprayed the first coat, it was nice and calm out. It was perfect. Then when I went to spray the second coat, man, it got real windy. And it's nice and calm now, so must have been just a gust of wind came through, but it looks alright. So that's it. The inside is done now. You know, other than to put the frame paint on the base here and then put the wood on, the inside's done. So now, next thing I'm going to do is grind this all down. We're going to do this in 3 sections. We're going to do the top section, and maybe the bottom section, and then the middle section. So we'll see how that turns out. Alright, yeah, I might not show you me grinding that all off and stuff, but we'll see. I don't know how I feel, so. Alright, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Alright.